Amid concerns regarding island medium Theresa Caputo's health, her ex-husband Larry Caputo offers support. Theresa Caputo, a renowned television personality and the Long Island medium, is presently hospitalized due to a grave medical condition. Medical professionals have identified her with a specific sort of brain tumor, resulting in a decline in her physical and mental health. Fortunately, this tumor is curable, and physicians have told Teresa that with appropriate therapy, she will recuperate. In this challenging period, Teresa expressed, "I simply wish to see my ex-husband, Larry Caputo, for a moment." Upon hearing this, Larry acted without delay. Without hesitation, he proceeded directly to the hospital to be with Teresa. The reunion between Larry and Teresa was poignant. After numerous years, they supported one another once more during a challenging period in their lives. Supporters are expressing their hopes for Teresa's swift recovery, and this act of compassion is resonating with many. The drone of machinery, the soft footsteps of nurses, and the antiseptic aroma permeated the hospital corridor. Behind one door, in a secluded apartment adorned with gentle illumination and select lavender blossoms, resided Theresa Caputo, the esteemed Long Island medium. The characteristic high heels and abundant blonde hair, now softly disheveled on the pillow, were absent. She appeared delicate, yet there was an unmistakable luminosity about her. Medical professionals had verified it, a rare yet manageable brain neoplasm. The announcement startled her global fanbase. The woman who previously conveyed messages from the deceased to mourning relatives now required healing herself. Her condition remained steady, but complications had impaired her motor skills and emotional stability. Amidst periods of uncertainty and lucidity, one name persisted on her tongue: Larry. Teresa had not encountered Larry Caputo in more than 4 years following their divorce. Life had diverged their paths. He relocated to California, while she stayed in New York, engrossed in spiritual literature, television engagements, and familial responsibilities. In her delicate condition, she desired not fame or cameras, but him. "I merely wish to see Larry, if only for a brief moment," she murmured to her daughter, Victoria, who was seated alongside her. Victoria paused, aware of her parents' past, yet within an hour, she was on the phone. Nationwide, Larry Caputo had recently returned from a serene evening stroll in Santa Monica when his phone vibrated. The voice on the line trembled with passion. "Dad, Mom wishes to see you. She is in the hospital." He inquired not about specifics. He sought no rationale. The history, the disputes, the anguish, all of it dissipated instantaneously. By the following morning, Larry was aboard a flight to Long Island. Within the hospital, as nurses modified Teresa's for and monitored her vitals, the door opened silently. Larry entered, his hair now salt and pepper, his face aged and more weathered, but his eyes still reflected the same worry they once did. Teresa gazed upward, her eyes expanding in astonishment. For an instant, the hospital room vanished, devoid of cables and affliction, revealing only the profound essence of a man she had once adored with every aspect of her being. "Larry," her voice quivered. "Greetings, Tree," he uttered, employing his former moniker for her, his voice imbued with sentiment. He approached and grasped her hand delicately. She clutched it firmly, as if securing herself to something recognizable, something secure. Both individuals' eyes brimmed with tears. Words were unnecessary. They remained in that position for hours, exchanging silent glances, filled with nostalgia. Teresa quietly recounted visions she experienced during slumber, of apparitions conveying that this affliction will yield tranquility rather than suffering. She asserted that love endures, even amongst separation. "You know," she murmured, "I have conversed with spirits throughout my life. However, in recent days, I have yearned to experience the presence of someone living, someone who recognized me as merely Teresa, not the medium." Larry grinned subtly. "You have always transcended the role of the medium, Tree. You are the most vibrant individual I have ever encountered." In the ensuing weeks, Larry remained in New York. He assisted in coordinating Teresa's treatment regimen, provided her preferred snacks, and read her correspondence from admirers. Occasionally, they engaged in profound conversations late into the night. At other times, they sat in quiet, reflecting on their shared history. Teresa had indications of recovery. The tumor reacted favorably to treatment, and the physicians expressed optimism. However, a more profound mending had also commenced her heart. On a lovely morning, Teresa was taken to the hospital garden. Larry was already present with a cup of coffee and 2 jelly donuts, their customary ritual. "Once I recover," Teresa remarked, munching into the donut, "I wish to embark on a journey. Somewhere tranquil. Perhaps simply vanish for a while." "Accompanying me?" Larry inquired warily. She grinned. "Only if you assure me you will not bring your dreadful playlist." He chuckled, and for the first time in years, she participated in his mirth. The world observed as updates emerged. Fans celebrated Teresa's recovery, but more significantly, they were moved by the unforeseen reunion. This narrative was not a romantic tale of reconciliation. It was about healing, discovering grace in vulnerable moments, and the enduring nature of certain bonds. In a subsequent interview, Teresa remarked, "Occasionally, the most profound medium exists not between the living and the deceased, but rather between the past and the present, anguish and optimism, and souls that continue to acknowledge one another despite the passage of time." In a location on Long Island, beneath the expansive summer sky, 2 elderly individuals sat adjacent to one another, consuming coffee and engaging in a shared process of healing, silently, gently, and exquisitely. Nonetheless, on a rainy Tuesday afternoon in Hicksville, Long Island, the skies were overcast and the distant rumble of thunder resonated through the suburban areas. Within the Caputo residence, Theresa Caputo, the renowned Long Island medium, occupied her reading room, candles aglow, crystals meticulously arranged, and energy subtly circulating. Having just concluded a tranquil meditation, she sensed a familiar presence entering the environment. Her afternoon client, a tall and anxious man in his early 30s named Jason Marino, arrived with a hopeful yet apprehensive expression. A former firefighter who had departed the service following an accident, he was now engaged in assisting troubled youth. His hands trembled slightly as he took a seat opposite Teresa. "I am uncertain of my belief in this," Jason remarked, presenting a feeble smile. "However, an intuition compelled me to attend." Teresa smiled kindly. "Darling, it's not about having faith in me. It's about being receptive to the notion that love is eternal." Jason nodded, his gaze traversing the room, uncertain of what was ahead. Teresa momentarily closed her eyes, attuning herself. The atmosphere appeared to alter, becoming denser and more temperate. "There is a pronounced masculine presence here," Teresa said. "Very safeguarding. He is presenting a badge. Law enforcement? No, wait, firefighter. He asserts, that is my son. That is my Jason." Jason's eyes filled with tears immediately. "My father," he murmured. Teresa asserted, her tone gentle yet resolute. "He claims he has accompanied you throughout your journey since the accident. He is illustrating the moment you gathered your belongings and departed from the station. He asserts it was not an act of weakness. It was an act of courage." Jason gulped. His father, Frank Marino, was a distinguished firefighter who perished in the line of duty when Jason was still 17. They shared a profound connection, and Jason pursued a similar path, consistently striving to honor his father's legacy. "He is grasping a baseball glove," Teresa inquired. "Did you both engage in play together?" Jason emitted a sorrowful laugh. "Every Sunday, until the day he passed away." Teresa grinned. "He claims you occasionally throw the ball in the yard when you believe no one is observing. He witnesses it. He is present. He takes great pride in your work with those children." He remarked, "That's my boy. He's healing others while healing himself." Jason was now openly weeping, a blend of sorrow and relief emanating from him. "I have always pondered whether he would feel disheartened by my departure from the job, that I was unable to persist." Teresa inclined her body slightly. He asserts that he did not perish to impose upon you the burden of sustaining his fire. He passed away so that you could embody his love. And that is precisely what you are accomplishing. The room became quiet, save for the gentle sound of rain against the windows. Teresa shut her eyes once again, sensing the spirit withdraw. He is now offering you a salute, the most esteemed salute a father can bestow. Jason rose, ambled toward the door, then paused. Thank you. You not only linked me to my father, you bestowed upon me tranquility. Following his departure, Teresa remained solitary in her reading room, tears welling in her eyes. Such times rendered her gift a true blessing, facilitating reconnections and affirming that love, indeed, is eternal. As the storm subsided and sunlight began to emerge from the clouds, Teresa murmured gently to the silent room. Another father is proud. Another heart is mended. Nonetheless, on a brisk Sunday morning in Hicksville, Long Island, Theresa Caputo had just completed her weekly grocery shopping when her phone vibrated with an unexpected call. A woman named Candace was on the line, her voice trembling with apprehension and hope. Teresa, she stated, I've watched your show. I am uncertain about my belief in mediums, but something has transpired within my family. My mother died 6 months ago, and now my daughter refuses to approach the bowling alley. Teresa hesitated momentarily. The bowling alley, she inquired, fascinated. Candace affirmed, indeed, it was my mother's preferred location. She participated in a league and continued to bowl until the week of her demise. Her name was Rosemary. A shiver coursed through Teresa's arms. An instinct compelled her. Provide me with the address, she stated. I shall arrive this evening. Teresa entered the vibrant atmosphere of Maplewood Lanes, where the aroma of polished wood and nacho cheese permeated the air. Laughter from children echoed, bowling balls thundered down the lanes, and pins collided in a rhythm that felt almost sacred. Candace embraced her warmly. Thank you for attending. Adjacent to her was a girl no older than 10, grasping her bowling shoes and gazing apprehensively at the lanes. This is Ellie, my daughter, Candace elucidated. She previously bowled weekly with her grandmother, Rosemary. However, since my mother's demise, Ellie claims to hear whispers in this place. Unusual sounds. Even bowling balls seemingly moving autonomously. Teresa softly knelt before Ellie. Darling, may I inquire, do you experience fear while you are here? Ellie said, It's not fear in a negative sense. It feels as though Grandma wishes for me to recognize her presence. I simply cannot comprehend the reason. Teresa sensed a shift in the atmosphere. A tingling pressure enveloped her ears, indicating the presence of a spirit attempting to manifest. She shut her eyes and concentrated. She is presenting a purple bowling ball, Teresa remarked gently, with a name inscribed on the side, Rosemary the Rocket. Does that hold any significance for you? Candace said, That was Mother's ball. She had it engraved years ago. She took great pride in her hook shot, often jesting that she was swifter than lightning. Ellie's eyes brightened. I recall that. Teresa acknowledged with a nod. She takes pride in your recollection. Furthermore, she is presenting me with diminutive pink trophies. Ellie, did she bestow those upon you? Ellie grinned subtly. She used to present me with a small pink trophy from each tournament she won. She claimed I was her lucky charm. Teresa's tone became gentle. She is present, dear. Not to instill fear, but to continue supporting you. She conveys, do not relinquish the ball now. I remain on your team. At that moment, the console of Lane 7 illuminated, despite the absence of any assigned personnel. The screen exhibited the name Rosemary. Ellie was taken aback. She consistently bowled on Lane 7, Candace murmured, quaking. Teresa laughed softly. That's your grandmother's manner of indicating she continues to achieve success from beyond. Ellie positioned herself at the apex of Lane 7, gripping her ball with assurance. Her purple jersey displayed Team Rocket. After a deep inhalation, she sent the ball down the lane. Strike. Applause ensued. Candace saw from the bleachers, tears glistening in her eyes. Teresa sat adjacent to her, beaming with pride. Candace stated, "She is no longer afraid." "She was never required to be," Teresa responded. "Love persists, even in the face of mortality." Rosemary continues to guide from the ethereal periphery. In a place beyond human perception, Rosemary radiated pride, her spirit elevated with each beautiful frame bowled by her grandchild. Nonetheless, the sun was gracefully descending over the Montauk shoreline, illuminating the skies with shades of gold and pink. The ocean murmured to the sands, while the summer air exuded an enchanting quality. The essence of this day felt fortuitous, and justifiably so. On this particular beach, beneath a floral arch, Long Island medium Theresa Caputo was poised to officiate an unparalleled wedding. Nearly a year ago, longtime couple Jenna and Mark composed a poignant letter to Teresa. For over a decade, they had been ardent admirers of her show, not solely for its entertainment value but for the solace it provided. Jenna had tragically lost her twin sister, Elise, in an accident at the age of 21. Mark, a firefighter, had previously been ensnared in a conflagration and believed he felt his deceased grandfather's hand guiding him to safety. Both sought refuge in Teresa's spiritual readings and attributed their renewed faith to her influence. When Mark proposed to Jenna during a rebroadcast of one of Teresa's episodes, immediately following Teresa's reading on soulmates, they were certain they wanted her to participate in their wedding. They did not anticipate her response. Nonetheless, she did answer. "I could not decline," Teresa said a modest assembly of journalists the day prior to the event. They sought more than a mere celebrity appearance. They held a conviction in spirit, healing, and love. "I sensed their energy through that correspondence. Spirit compelled me to attend." On the wedding day, Teresa appeared in an elegant white dress embellished with glimmering beads, her trademark blonde hair impeccably styled, nails elongated and coated in lustrous lilac. As she entered the beach, guests gasped in admiration. For many, it was surreal to witness her in person, not wielding a microphone for a reading, but occupying a position of sacred honor. The ceremony was small, with 40 of the couple's nearest friends and relatives in attendance. A soft breeze swept through as Teresa positioned herself at the altar. "Esteemed guests," she commenced, her voice both robust and inviting, "we convene today not solely to commemorate the union of Jenna and Mark, but to pay tribute to the invisible presence of those who have departed, those who continue to accompany us in ways that may elude our sight, yet are perpetually felt." While she spoke, other visitors discreetly wiped away tears. Teresa momentarily paused, closed her eyes, and slightly inclined her head. "I typically refrain from this at weddings," she remarked with an understanding smile, "but Spirit is interjecting positively." She faced Jenna, who was already in tears. "Elise is present," Teresa stated softly. "She has been here since you arrived on the sand." She remarks, "You have finally selected a man who treats you as I advised you to wait for." Jenna emitted a laugh amidst her tears. The entire family was aware that Elise had consistently been protective. Teresa stated, she remarks, "I will walk directly behind you down the aisle, just as we did at prom. You appear stunning, sister." The audience was very emotional. Following the vows, which were uncomplicated, poignant, and very personal, Teresa led them through a distinctive spiritual unification ritual. She instructed each participant to compose a message to a deceased loved one, encase it in a seashell, and release it into the ocean. In this manner, she stated, they become integral to your first as well. Jenna and Mark clasped hands while observing the waves disperse their messages. A sudden gust of wind lifted Jenna's veil, which inexplicably hovered for many seconds before softly settling on her shoulder. Teresa merely smiled. "That's Elise," she murmured. While the stars shimmered above the beach event, people danced to gentle acoustic melodies and raised their glasses to love and spirit. Teresa socialized, posed for photographs, and conducted many impromptu mini-readings. Subsequently, Jenna approached her and remarked, "You did not merely officiate a wedding. You bestowed upon us a memory that encompasses everyone, including those who are not present in body." Teresa acknowledged, placing her hand on her chest. They are never truly absent. We merely need to listen attentively. That night, beneath a starry sky and with hearts brimming with healing, Jenna and Mark commenced their journey as husband and wife, eternally appreciative of the woman who transformed their marriage into a moment of love and spirit. As Theresa Caputo silently approached her vehicle, she gazed at the stars and murmured, "Thank you for allowing me to be part of their day." The breeze intensified and she smiled, sensing the response without needing to hear it. Greetings, esteemed viewers. Welcome to my channel. I am Mina, and I hope your day is going splendidly. If you appreciate the video, please remember to subscribe to the channel.